Hello, listeners. Welcome to Mouthful of Toast, Episode 2. I'm one of your Toast hosts, Tim, and I'm here with Carrie.
Hello.
And over Skype, we have another host, Ian.
Hello, hello, hello.
So, guys, first off, I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who tuned into the first episode, who liked the Facebook page, who just got really hype about the series, even before listening to it.
We had like 100 likes on Facebook before our episode was posted.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, and I just, from bottom of our hearts, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Keep tuning in. We're tweaking the format a little still. So this episode, you may have noticed, I announced that there is a theme of survival. You'll see how that plays into our different sections later. And the biggest change you'll probably notice our new releases section. We're only focusing on one series this episode, so just stay tuned with us with that. And yeah, I think you guys will really enjoy it. We learned a lot from the first episode, and we're going to try our best to have a good show for you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
So, yeah, we're going to hit stuff like what we've checked out. We're going to talk about conventions because Otacon's in a week. We've got some trailers, but we're going to start off with news. So, first one, I know Tim's very excited for. So, Tim, you want to take this?
Yes, I'm so impossibly hyped for this. So, Toonami, a.k.a. Adult Swim, the Saturday night, they've been doing a bunch of new anime and a bunch of different series. I've been really excited for, they got the Space Dandy launches, all that, and they just announced that they're going to have Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann coming in August 16th on the block. And at 2 a.m., so please stay up for it.
Or set those DVRs.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a series that meant a lot to me growing up, and I loved the hell out of it. And for any new watchers who haven't seen it, it's a ride. It's an experience. It means so much to me. So they also said they're going to try to do, I think the Blu-ray rips. They did it like a Tumblr Q&A, and they're going to try to do it HD. And this could pave the way for more Gainax and other series coming to Toonami. So I'm really excited to see what happens with this.
I mean, I've never been a huge fan of Gurren Lagann myself. Like, I watched it and I was like, that was a thing. And then I was like, done with it. Which I tend to do with a lot of stuff that people are super obsessed with, like Madoka and Evangelion. I'm just like, boy, that sure was a good thing. And then I like never watch it again. But I think that having Gurren Lagann, which, got so many people interested in anime, having that hit Toonami is big, and it's going to get exposure that it hasn't had miraculously yet.
I mean, like, I hear you talking about Gurren Lagann with, really rose-colored glasses, Tim, all the time, because you always mention it's the one, like, the first anime that you watched when every episode was coming out, right?
Yeah, that was a big reason, I think. I feel like the feel of the show works really well serially. So, like, as the episodes are coming out, because each episode just ramps up more and more, and you feel more and more strongly about it by the end, and you're really attached to the characters. And, like, I think Studio Trigger, which is a lot of Gainax people, took a lot of that spirit with Kill la Kill, which is why that was a thrill ride watching that, too. It's just the same, just every episode ramps it up and breaks expectations. But I'll have a lot more to say about Gurren Lagann next episode. I think we want to just talk all about Gainax Works next episode, but we'll get to that later. Sure. But just know that it's coming. People are going to be hyped about it all over again. You're going to see the cosplays again, so just know it's on the horizon.
Yes. Cool. So also on the horizon, a new Macross or Macross, whatever the hell you want to call it, is apparently coming soon. The last time we had new Macross was Macross Frontier in 2008, so it's been 6 years since we've seen anything new out of this franchise. Now, most people were first exposed to Macross without even knowing that they were exposed to Macross because they were watching Robotech. And this year is actually the 30th anniversary of Robotech, so, I would love to see new Macross. I watched Robotech when I was a kid. I had friends who had the transformable figures and stuff like that. And I played a lot of the Robotech video games on like GameCube and stuff.
I remember seeing those games. I remember I was like, I have no idea what this is, but that jet just turned into like a half robot, and I'm on board. I want to play this.
For the uninitiated, and I can't say that I know that much about Macross myself, but the stories usually always involve checking off two boxes, right? Which is mechs and a lead singer who's an idol character. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that. Well, you had Macross 7, which is my favorite Macross, had like a rock band instead of an idol character. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Super on board with that. I think I have some of the CDs from like that Macross band. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's only in the early planning stages. So if we hear anything more about this, we'll be talking about it. But I'm personally looking forward to seeing new Macross.
Yeah, should be interesting to revive that franchise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, Frontier was really big when it came out. Mm-hmm. And then it was like radio silence from those guys after that.
It's like, woo!
Nothing.
Well, right. After two stories about series coming back, or potentially coming back, we've got a little bit of more somber news in that Studio Ghibli's latest film, Marnie, earned less than half of what Arrietty did in its first weekend. That's a huge gap, going from about, what was it, like 9 million yen to like 3.7 million instead.
Yeah.
Which that does mean something pretty meaningful.
Yeah.
And I can't expect that it's anything but a reaction to Miyazaki leaving earlier this year. The fact that, I've been thinking about it, and other companies that you can really think of their CEOs or their historical CEOs as synonymous with the company was, say, Microsoft, Bill Gates, and Apple, Steve Jobs, and now Studio Ghibli, Miyazaki. Like, he's got that level of fame there that's synonymous with the company.
Right.
And yeah, I really wonder if they can recover out of this, because this is a very, very, very sizable reaction to his departure.
Right. I mean, I don't know anything about when Marnie was there myself. I haven't. It's not something I've paid attention to.
Okay, I watched the trailer. I could already tell this movie is going to break my heart to pieces. It's about like really emotional lesbians, and I'm like,
So it's Utena?
A little bit of that.
A little bit of that. A little dash of that.
But I want to point out that I think some of the sales could be attributed to the Pokemon movie opening like the same weekend. So
yeah, I have to wonder if like it's a low opening weekend, but then it'll like consistently stay in that second or third slot.
Sure.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with like lifetime sales, but that's not a good sign. There's been a lot of rumors that Ghibli is just restructuring entirely, so like this might give a lot of evidence for that. So we'll see what happens.
I mean, there's a lot of talent that's still working with Ghibli, but there's talk about them shutting down their doors because they never outsource their animation, and they continue to make very lavish movies that require a lot more man hours than, any other sort of animated film. And I wonder if I really hope that they can, stay afloat through this little bit of trouble, because it would be a shame to lose this studio. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly can't even imagine what it would be like without a new Ghibli film coming out every year or so.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've been watching Ghibli films since before I even, recognized what the hell anime was. I mean,
right.
I watched Kiki's Delivery Service as a kid, and I really enjoyed that movie, and then it wasn't until years later I was like, that's an anime!
Oh. It's Japan.
So I feel like it would be, just kind of heartbreaking in a sense to see Ghibli just totally go under simply because Miyazaki isn't directing anymore.
Right.
So, in completely unrelated news, Naruto.
Believe it!
Shut up.
Yes. So, apparently the Naruto movie, which is coming out on December 6th of this year, will be titled The Last. And boy, do I hope it sticks to that title.
Wow. I mean, hey, we were just so hopeful about Ghibli just a minute ago, right? We got to be at least a little optimistic for Naruto, right?
I'm not... Look, when it comes to Naruto, I read, like, in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for me, like, almost 10 years ago, when I started high school.
Sure.
No, like, exactly 10 years ago when I was starting high school. I was pretty into Naruto because I was in my high school weeaboo anime club phase. And
happens to the best of us.
Yes. Like, I had the headband and everything. And it was, like, a very condensed period of time where I was, like, very into Naruto. And I think the last, like, major battle that I watched, like, kind of as it came out, and by as it came out, I mean, like, buying a bootleg VHS tape of fan subs, because that's when you still had to do that, because I was on AOL until 2006.
Love it.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I think the last Naruto thing that I, like, watched was Rock Lee's fight with Gaara, which was a great fight, and I was like, it's never going to get any better than this, and I was correct.
You were totally right, yeah. As probably one of the people on here more affiliated with Shonen Jump, like more familiar with it.
Yeah.
Because I did keep up with a bit of like what's been happening in Naruto lately, and I'm like, oh, that's the last arc. Like they can't do anything else with it. And then I was reading Bleach, and I was like, oh, that's the last arc. They can't do anything with... No,
they
just
always
keeps going.
Find a way. They will always just find a way.
Run right into the ground. Yeah. It's so Naruto, actually, I think they've been talking, like, he's actually got, like a way out of his contract, like, he's going to start a new thing, like, after Naruto, so he's, like, actually ending it. I just don't agree with a lot of his storytelling techniques, and I'm also just diehard One Piece, Pirates versus Ninjas. I pick Pirates, obviously. But that's a whole other thing. I've just never seen a big series like this just go out and say, like, this is the last movie tie-in we're going to do. We're not going to do anymore. And it's like,
Yeah. We'll
I don't believe you.
Yeah, look for a revival in the next 5 years. Let's just say that.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Naruto reboot.
All I can say is that my experience with Naruto is finding bad anime to watch with friends. And so one day we watched the first Naruto movie. And then someone opened up a Gatling gun that shot kunai. Like, it was just a huge Gatling gun that shot daggers instead of bullets. And I think I was done.
That's awesome. So yeah. Look, if you're into Naruto, that's cool. Because I know Naruto got a ton of people interested.
Oh, yeah.
In the first place. And I've got friends who have been following it since day one.
Sure.
And good for you for sticking through it for, like, 15 fucking years at this point. Good Lord.
Power to you.
Yeah. I mean...
We just don't want to get on that train.
No.
It's too late for
I fell off that train many, many years ago, and I was happy to get off. But, the only thing that interests me about Naruto is, like, how the hell are they going to end it? How is it going to end?
I don't know, like, Naruto and Sasuke going to make out? Like,
I read that fanfic. I think I read all those 1,000 fanfics, yes. Yeah. I believe that's accurate. All right. And
enough about that.
Let's go to something a little bit more classy. In that the Company One Theater Company in Boston, a regional U.S. theater, has made a play about Astro Boy and Osamu Tezuka called Astro Boy and the God of Comics, which I don't know much about this, but from the pictures, and they've got a curriculum site on their theater website, their main website, including production photos and stuff like that. It seems like a very interesting production, just looking at just one of the great legends of manga and one of his greatest creations. Yeah.
Tezuka's huge. And
yeah.
A theatrical Western play on him is just really mind-blowing. It's like, did not expect to see this headline coming up. It's like, oh, someone's doing a play on Astro Boy? What? It's Japan,
what?
right?
What?
No, it's in Boston.
No, it's in Boston. Surprise.
I mean, Boston is a very, very vivid theater scene in the U.S., and I believe the director is, yes, he's an assistant professor at the Georgetown University Theater Department, and the author of God of Comics, Osamu Tezuka, and the creation of post-World War II manga. So definitely an expert in the field. and like just the images are very, very intriguing.
So I mean, I know I've got friends in Boston.
Yeah.
I am not about to go to Boston to see this because I do not have that kind of money. But if any of my Boston friends are listening to this, go see it and then write a review for us, and then we will publish it.
Please, yeah. I do want to hear how this is because it sounds like a play based on a thesis.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well,
how does it going to play out?
No, as a drama major, I'm kind of a sucker for these sorts of things, so this is something made for me, I would think.
I mean, it says that it is exploring the intersections of science, art, and family. So, like, it generally sounds interesting, and the images look interesting as well. So, like, it's something I would see.
And it's like the foundation of all manga is like Tezuka. Like he's called like the it's like his empire is the Disney of Japan. Like he started it all pretty much and has a huge body of work. I think we could just dedicate a whole episode to Tezuka at some point because his work is so incredible.
Yes.
If you've sat down and read the manga and seen any anime it's inspired by, it's just fantastic. So having a tribute to that is really cool. And I'm really glad you found the story because this story was just this is Ian. This is like anime and theater. This is Ian.
Art.
All you need to know about him.
Yeah. I mean, it's once again just bringing back the idea of crossover from last week. Like the idea that this is someone who's made a theater work in English talking about Tezuka. That's something to talk about. And I would like to see how much it definitely communicates with his influence on Western artists as well, you know?
Absolutely.
It's something.
All right, so that wraps it up for news. So this is the part where we ask you for money.
The cat does this sound right now? Sort of.
I mean, you know, where we had a successful first episode. We have followers on Facebook and on Twitter. So we know that you have interests in things, which is why you're listening to us in the first place. So Tim, why don't you tell them about our program?
So we've enrolled in a brand new program with Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
So I happen to have a Crunchyroll account. I think it's pretty cool to watch all the latest JoJo episodes and lots of other series, actually. They have a ton of different stuff on there, and we've got a partnership with them now. So basically, if you sign up for a membership with Crunchyroll, which is like, what, $6 a month?
Yeah.
That's a steal. It's great. You just we're going to have an ad on our sidebar on our website, so you just click on the Crunchyroll ad, and it'll sign up for Crunchyroll. You'll pay your money. You don't pay any extra. But we get a little of that dosh to ourselves to help with the site and everything. So sign up for Crunchyroll, check it out because it's awesome, and then
we get a little envelope slipped under the bathroom door. It's nice.
Right.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. So we really appreciate you guys listening to us, and I don't have a Crunchyroll premium account yet. I've been tolerating the standard definition and the ads so far, but I'll probably sign up for premium through the affiliate program. And again, doesn't cost you anything else, and it helps us pay for things like hosting, potentially new software for recording, potentially new cables for recording. Please, please, if your Crunchyroll is about to expire, re-up it through us.
Yeah.
So we would really appreciate that. So
if anything, it gets you more anime, which gets you closer to us, your heroes.
Yes.
You're absolute heroes.
We are heroes of anime. Not heroes of cosplay, though. Let's not get into that.
Later.
All right. So, new releases. So, I don't know if we're going to keep calling this section new releases or...
This is just new release now.
New release.
New-ish release.
Yes. So, we all watched Aldnoah Zero, which started a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's about 3-4 episodes out now, and I think it's more of a first impression section now. So instead of us all watching different stuff and trying to sell each other on it, we're going to just sit down and all watch the same series and discuss it. So Aldnoah Zero is on Crunchyroll, so you can watch it with your premium membership you're going to buy with us.
Yeah.
And it's a series... how would you describe this, Ian?
I guess you could say that it's a series... It's an alternate history... where we found on the moon a hypergate that allowed fast travel between Mars and the moon, and that happened in 1972. And so the series itself is set in 2014, but there's an empire in Mars, and us on Earth. And, of course, then that brings into play the interesting dynamics of racial tensions between the Martians who consider themselves better than us Terran humans. It becomes into a war story. And, of course, there's mechs and all this other stuff, too, so why not?
I watched the first couple episodes, and I was like, boy, this really, really wants to be Gundam 0079. Because, like, the Mars people, what do they call themselves? The Zers?
The Vers Empire?
Vers
like
Empire.
Versus or something.
I was like, gee, they really seem like the people from Gundam who live on colonies and
thought that they were just better than everyone else, right? Yeah, it does seem a little bit similar. It's true.
Yeah, and then like the Heavens Fall thing, I was like, that was when they smashed that thing into the Earth in Gundam. This is Gundam. This wants to be Gundam.
Would you say it's more homage, or would you say it's just straight ripping it off?
I mean, I think it's like, I don't know. There are so many similarities where I'm just like, gee golly gosh, it's Zeon all over again.
Here we go.
Like,
yeah.
Where's Char? Where's the guy in the red mech? Oh, there he is. So, I mean, I can appreciate homages to old school Gundam.
Sure.
Because I love old school Gundam. I just wish they would have maybe tried a little harder to
do their own thing,
to hide it, or like, maybe do their own thing a little bit, as opposed to it's these space people who think that space is better versus Earth people who just want to live on Earth.
Well, for what it's worth, like I've been reading Gundam: The Origins, for instance, which is someone just trying to redo that first Gundam story better than he did, because like the guy made a great world. But he's got terrible writing for the most part. And Gundam Origin trying to fix that. And the reason I'm watching, like I really wanted to watch Aldnoah Zero this week was because Gen Urobuchi wrote it, he wrote Madoka. And he also wrote the entire first season of Psycho Pass last season, or 2 seasons ago, something like that. And very much, you can see in those series he's picking up on old ideas and he's trying to add a little bit more of thematic depth to them. Like, and I can see that happening in Aldnoah Zero too. Like, the Heaven Fall idea is so close to that colony fall event. And of course the colonies and the Verdes Empire and that like space racism sort of thing.
Space racism.
That sounds like an episode title.
Yeah. But I can see his writing. Like, he's very much a writer who likes to go for those deep themes immediately and tries to introduce them and make strong characters to communicate them. And I see that in the first episode, and I am getting more into this series than I say I ever got into the Mobile Suit Gundam series or its universe so far. But, that's up to opinion, for sure.
I mean, maybe it's just because I'm such a snob about Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
That's entirely possible. I mean, for me, I kind of found it boring and sort of cliche, but I also like, as I said last episode, I just like marathoned old Gundam, and it's in my brain forever. And now everything that I watch that remotely resembles Gundam will never be as good as original Gundam.
That's me with One Piece, but speaking of someone... Speaking of someone who has like very little Gundam experience outside of G Gundam, we're not going to talk about this episode.
Not yet.
We must savor it at the time. I felt like there were so many elements. I just knew exactly where they were going right at the beginning. Like this girl, she's like, I'm going on a goodwill mission to Earth, and we've been in peace for the last 15 years, and nothing's going to go wrong.
It's like, bitch, you dead.
Like, something's gonna go wrong. And like, it's just like all the students, like, we're just training in these mobile suits. I wonder if one day we'll get to use them. And like all the mechs, like the human mechs are just completely boring bullshit. They're just like the most lazy robot designs. And then the Martians come down, which are just look like regular humans, but they all, like, you can tell they all have like the particular hairstyle and the particular, like, the general robots are all like really unique and colorful. And they come down, they're like, hey, you should try to defeat us. And they're just plowing through soldiers, just like destruction everywhere. And of course, it's the kids who figure out how to beat these guys. Of course, it's like the middle schoolers, the high schoolers, whatever, like, well, all the adults are busy running away, but I managed to find the weak point in the field that vaporizes everything it touches.
Right.
I just happened to figure it out. So, I don't know. It lost a lot of points to that, but I will say the first episode was surprising to me because I was like, watching it, I was kind of bored with the politics. I was like, all right, I see what they're setting up. All right, I'm not really feeling this. And then the end of the episode where the heavens fall happens, I was like, okay, I'm awake. I'm paying attention. Hello.
Yeah, it is definitely the best directed moment in the series so far. In a series that mostly looks kind of ugly.
Yeah, it's not
hideous.
It's not.
Like,
it's not offensive,
I like
but it's very mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the Terran character designs are really boring.
Yeah.
All of the Verse Empire guys, they all look cool.
That's because they look like Gundam characters, though.
Yes! That's exactly right. They all look like Xeon people.
Yep.
Right.
I don't know. I found it like, I'm not going to watch any more of it myself. And unless something drastic happens where everybody's like, you got to watch this, then I'm not going to watch it.
I will say something drastic happens in episode 3, but I predicted it at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, like, it seems, everything I've seen so far, in like the 2.5 episodes that I watched, seems like predictable and kind of cliched.
Yeah, I don't think they're saying anything interesting with the series right now.
Yeah. Like, I wouldn't be able to tell just by watching these first few episodes that anybody from Madoka had anything to do with this. Because the thing about Madoka is that, like, crazy shit happens and you don't know what's going to happen. Whereas in Aldnoah Zero, you kind of tell what's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly a different story, and I'm still watching it a bit just because Urobuchi is involved, and I do like his writing, and the fact that he loves to push his themes through. He's very good at setting those up. The first episode, though, like, I'll admit, the first episode is the strongest part of this entire series so far. The next 2 episodes, he wrote, but they are just a lot weaker, and they do fall back on a lot of cliches that, God, can we stop having high school kids solve everything already? God damn. Oh, jeez.
I don't remember being that capable in high school. I remember being like complete idiot.
Yeah, but
in high
Tim,
school.
you're not
like,
Japanese. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
We figured it out. Okay, but yeah, like, that's so annoying. And the direction in the series, like, it's too bad because this studio does not seem like a great studio. And every shot of dialogue is done in just flats, and all the combat's done in just flat shots. And, you know what's going on, but it's not really thrilling in any way. But I'm sticking with it. I did watch episode 4, which turned out to be the first one that Urobuchi didn't write. And it's a drop-off. It is heading straight towards just okay territory. And that's a interesting thing about the series that he puts his name on, which is it's kind of a endurance run to see when he stops writing the episodes.
Ooh,
yeah.
He dropped off at 4?
Thing, like, for instance, I think he wrote the first episode and the last episode of another series last year called Gargantia, which I heard was one of the greatest first episodes ever, a mediocre middle, and then an ending that was kind of okay. He's a company right now. People love to have his work, his name on their work. And so he got 3 episodes in, and there's other staff writers taking over. But the fact that the difference in quality between episode 4 and the 3 that he did is so wide is not something that I'm looking forward to. I'll give it another episode, probably.
I think we're both dropping it.
Yeah, I'm dropping it.
Yeah, we're just, I'm not interested. All the characters are falling into their places too well. It's like, oh, I witnessed this traumatic event in the past and I was the only one. And everyone's like, you're an idiot. Why would we ever believe you? And of course he knows everything.
Right.
Whoa. I just find nothing interesting in these characters or the story they're telling. It was colorful and fun for a little bit with the robot battles. I was like, ooh, shiny, that was, okay, but I don't think there's enough. I'm not attached to any of the characters. There's one character's literally just showing off her thighs every episode.
She really is. She really?
Yes.
Yeah.
She's the thigh fan service. Not even thigh high.
Sold some people on the show, so,
Yeah, you know what? Watch it for the thighs. That's my tagline.
Don't forget.
Aldnoah Zero, watch episode 3 for the thighs.
Yeah.
Done.
All
right. And do you guys want to comment? Are you guys keeping up any series you started last episode? I think Ian kept up with Terror in Resonance.
Yes, I have.
No.
Oh well. Terror in Resonance episode 3 just came out, and it's still pretty good. Beautiful to watch. Interesting story. Some more anime cliches have popped up, and we're only getting character development for the deuteragonists instead of the 3 people we figured were the protagonists right now, which is, I'm getting impatient, that's for sure. But the themes that are presented and the visuals that are presented are still stunning and still very interesting to follow. I just still in that moment when I'm just hoping that everything starts coming together.
Yeah, you wrote a review for Dead Shirt, right?
Yes, I did, of the first 2 episodes.
Awesome. Yeah, everyone should check that out, because I think when we find series that we're really liking from these initial impressions, we'll try to sit down and write reviews of them and try to get more opinions on them. But so far, Dramatical Murder? No, I'm definitely not keeping up with that. In case anyone was curious, I did not watch a single other episode, and I heard they had to literally send a global apology for how bad the animation was in later episodes.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they crapped up so bad. It's just we're sorry.
There are some gifs of a dog that just... This is the least I have seen someone understand what a dog is.
Oh God! So yeah, we're past the initial impressions. We're going to talk about some stuff we were really into with our next section, which is our new themed checked out section.
Yeah.
And to remind everyone, the current theme that we're working on is survival.
Yes. This will tie more into our convention section as well, but we wanted to kind of bring it over to our anime side and see what series we were inspired by with that theme. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to start off with kind of an obscure manga right now, just because there isn't any English release of it yet.
Well, look at this guy.
Whoa, it's a little obscure. But actually it's won a bunch of awards, so I can't say it's obscure at all, because it's called I Am a Hero, and it's a zombie survival story, actually, and you would expect that to be a zombie manga, who gives a shit, right? But it's actually really interesting in that the main character is, first off, a total loser. He's in his 30s, working as a side assistant, an assistant to an assistant for a manga. Mm-hmm. He has a girlfriend, but she treats him like dirt all the time, and he's just really goofy. He's just he makes poses himself in the mirror. He even hallucinates a little bit. So that kind of ups how much of this is real, how much of this is happening in the beginning. But then when things take off, there's clearly a zombie infection spreading. It's got a lot of Shaun of the Dead vibes, where he comes home and he doesn't notice anything's happening, and he just goes hey, girlfriend, what's going on? And she's already infected. She's already completely gone to the zombie virus, and he finally takes it in. And these aren't regular zombies. These are really grotesque, interestingly drawn zombies. So they're they have a lot of strength, and they kind of lose their limbs in grotesque ways, but they keep an element of their humanity, which is a really interesting part. So the landlord is a zombie, and you see the landlord still being where's the red? And there's a taxi cab driver. There's a great scene where he's stuck in a taxi cab where everyone around him is slowly turning into zombies, and he has to find an excuse to get out of the cab, but he's such a loser, he doesn't know how to excuse himself. And there's just I think it really conveys a sense of survival, because it's someone you don't expect. There's so many heroes and zombie stories and stuff that are The Last of Us, you have a capable grizzled man I'll take care of these zombies.
Right.
And you have it's
almost always a capable grizzled man.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to some fat dumb loser.
It's this guy. You wouldn't expect him to survive any of this, but he's just barely making it out. And there's just the way it's drawn and the way it's presented is the most interesting part about it, because there's just the scenes. I want to see this as a movie. I want to see this as an anime. I want to see just the editing involved in the scene direction is just beautiful. Grotesque scenes with zombies I would consider beautiful. And there's even one scene later where he ends up in the famous forest near Mount Fuji where all the suicides happened. It's do you know the name of that, Ian?
I do not. No, not off the top of my head.
Okay. I have to look it up later, but there is a famous forest that's it's famous for its suicides, and he goes there, and you expect to find the most zombies there, but he actually finds a young girl who got separated from a field trip who kind of ends up being his partner. It turns more Last of Us, actually, but it's definitely portrayed a much different way,
okay.
And the manga's been running a lot longer than that. I definitely think it's like the epitome of survival and seeing someone flounder their way through it and still be lovable the whole time because he's just this goofball and he doesn't know what he's doing. So, like, I definitely recommend you guys check it out. I think there's a bunch of scans online, and hopefully if people check it out, English release, but we'll see.
Okay.
Ian,
all right.
What did you watch?
I guess I'm going to talk about yet another of my favorite series that makes me super sad when I talk about it and think about it all the time. This series is called Now and Then, Here and There. It came out in, I think, 2001. It's a lesser-known anime. It doesn't have much flash to it or anything like that, but it's definitely one of the best anime that I've ever seen. The story begins with this young boy, Shu, who gets kind of dragged into a magical other world through like portal and stuff like that, trying to save this girl from these robots that have entered Earth to like kidnap her back to their world or whatever. Which, okay, it starts off like any shonen anime you'd expect, right? Just, young middle school-ish age kid who likes kendo but isn't very good at it gets dragged into another parallel universe. Sure. But from there on, his trek, like, to save this girl and to find out where, like, what the laws of this other world are, lead him to be conscripted as a child soldier. He ends up having to fight in this, like, army of child soldiers for this dictatorship that calls itself Hollywood, that's run by a mad dictator who very much, is not a stranger to war crimes and just all manner of atrocities. And he just has to go through this life, like this new life where he can't see any way out of it, just keeping that shonen optimism throughout. But it's not like, he's not like any other shonen hero. He is very much closer to a real person. And you can see that optimism just crack and eventually just break. Like, he just doesn't have the right answer for some of these people that have a lot of complicated problems in their lives. Like this one girl who was also brought from Earth because she looked like the girl that this empire was trying to kidnap. And they've got no use for her. So they throw her to older soldiers to be raped. And, like, the show takes all these dark themes and really, really takes a tactful hand at seeing how this plays out. And it very much feels like the director's apology for the sort of things that Japan did in China, say, during World War II. The whole rape of Manchuria and stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing about this years and years and years ago, because this originally ran in like 99 to 2000.
Did they put it on Sci-Fi Channel? I feel like they put it on Sci-Fi Channel.
Yeah, I think they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some heavy shit.
Yes.
To put it simply. So you guys did some old school stuff and some obscure stuff, and I was like, herpaderp, I'm going to watch Attack on Titan.
Well, I think Attack on Titan's worth talking about.
Yeah,
and how I think all three of us have seen enough of it that we could talk about it.
Yeah.
And we might get into some spoilers for hardcore Attack on Titan fans who are like, I watched the anime, I can't wait for second season. Some of us have read the manga, so bear with us if some spoilers happen.
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
All right, let's start with the hook to get people that have been on the fence about it thinking about actually really watching it. So,
yeah, well, I don't even know what the hook would be. I mean, there are these big fee-fi-fo-fum style, like, I'm going to grind up your bones to make my bread kind of giants that are just, like, eating people. And they just showed up one day, and they just eat people, and there's no reason for it.
And then they throw them back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like my roommate's cats. So, it's just, really, like, weird-looking, like, giant naked men without genitals just, like, that can survive on sunlight, but they just choose to eat people.
Mm.
And no one knows where the fuck they came from. And that's like, that, to me, that is the hook, because this show managed to make, like, big, stupid-looking giants into, like, terrifying monsters.
Oh, yeah. When have you been scared of a giant before this? Like, ever since, like, maybe, I don't know, like, elementary school or whatever, you listen to the fables.
Yeah, exactly. Like...
Oh, no, a giant. Like,
Jack and the Beanstalk. Like,
right, who cares now? But now it's like,
oh, shit, Titans.
Yeah.
So Attack on Titan, to me, kind of speaks to the adapt to survive kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where Eren fucking turns into a Titan to fight the Titans.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, well, we can't kill you efficiently with these little swords and, gas booster things, 3D maneuvering gears. So I'm going to turn into a big Titan, and I'm going to kick the shit out of you, and I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting from Attack on Titan in the survival perspective, because they build this huge walled city, and they're just like, oh, we'll just have more walls, and we'll just keep people in bigger separated areas to keep from these Titans. And if a wall goes down, it'll just be like the dummy town that we leave out there of all the really poor people.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoa!
It's like,
yikes!
Like, definitely the strongest thing about Attack on Titan is its world. Like, it's a really, really wonderful and interesting world. Like, the whole idea of these walled cities that have walls, like 100 meters high or something crazy like that? These thick walls and just, like, different levels of, that city. And the important part to mention is, like, the Titans haven't attacked. When the story begins, the Titans haven't attacked for, like, 100 years, like a full century.
Yeah, it was 100 years.
Yeah.
And
some obscenely long time.
Yeah.
And then the colossal Titan who can stand over the walls appears out of nowhere. Just shows up one day like, hello, I am here. I don't have any skin. I'm going to knock your walls down now. Hello.
Heard you talking shit.
Yeah.
So,
and it's wonderful seeing the protagonists really deal with it. Because these characters are smart. They make mistakes, but there's mistakes made out of just, like, thinking on their feet and just trying to figure out a plan that lets them live through this next crisis, basically.
Yeah, and sometimes they make mistakes and they fucking die.
Yeah.
Like,
There's death everywhere.
Brutal shit happens in Attack on Titan. That's what really took me by surprise when I first started watching this. It's like, no one told me how brutal this series was going to be. And then, like, in the first episode, Eren's mom just gets eaten, bitten in half, chompy.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, whoa. I mean, it's something that, like, I never finished. I still haven't finished the entire first season, 'cause it's so intense to the point where it's like I can't even, like, watch more than one episode at a time without having to, like, take a break from it.
Yeah.
It's just really intense, really heavy stuff. And Ian, like, you said that the world was pretty well established, but at the same time, at least a lot of questions, like, where did the walls come from? Because when the Titans first attacked, those walls were just
not there.
there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's an answer for that.
Yeah, but no, I'll say that he's definitely, he doles out those answers very slowly, but when they come, they really are satisfying. Like, there's lots of questions, lots of great questions, and lots of world mysteries and stuff like that. But the answers, when they come, they are interesting.
Just a small crack at the wall, and you see a Titan face, and you're like, that's not supposed to be there.
Right. It's like, we made these walls to protect ourselves from Titans, but we made the walls out of Titans.
This seems wrong.
Wait, what?
I think we fucked up, guys. But the thing I think is interesting is actually Attack on Titan actually relates to the other two series we're talking about. Vaguely, just hear me out real quick.
Okay.
The Titans can actually be compared to zombies. They're just really big zombies. They're big, mindless zombies.
There's only a couple of them that actually have some sort of, like, goal in mind. Like, the Titan Shifters have control of their actions, and then, like, the big hairy one that can talk.
Right.
And then, like, that's it.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
that's its own thing, yeah.
So I think having that element of humanity that persists in these monsters is something that relates to I Am a Hero, because a lot of the times these transformations happen to the zombies in the story, and they still retain a little bit of what made them human. Like the main character's girlfriend actually, in order to prevent him from being infected, bites something else to get all of her teeth ripped out, and then when she bites him, she has nothing to pierce his skin, so he doesn't get an infection.
Huh.
So she actually is aware enough to stop herself from infecting her boyfriend.
Interesting.
Which is great. So, like, yeah, when you have... So, definitely getting the I Am a Hero. It's really cool. And then when we have Now and Then Here and There, I think, having... The soldiers fighting Attack on Titan are all children.
Yeah.
They're all working for some corrupt government. And you see in the latest arcs, the manga is all... Like, the Titan's like, what's a Titan? Who cares? We have political drama to deal with.
Right.
Like, have you been keeping up, Ian?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, isn't that, like, it's a complete total shift. Because, like, at first they had this whole reveal with Eren again. And I was like, oh, fuck this. He's just this... Whatever. I don't care. He's so overpowered.
Yeah.
But then it just shifts to, it's like, we got to kill the king. We got to go get up there.
Well, I think, that's one of the best parts of the series is that just every character has, their capabilities, and some of them are very, very good at their jobs, which is mostly killing Titans. But they really are, like, smart people who are pushed to the limit. And sometimes people die, and sometimes it's characters that we've been with for quite a while, and it is unexpected, and it hurts. Because these characters are smart characters that we don't expect to die in every other story. But, that's the run-of-the-mill character in Attack on Titan. They're competent people that sometimes make mistakes that lead to their faces getting bit off and then the rest of their bodies getting eaten and then, stuff like that. The gentle stuff.
You could do as much as you can to prepare for these kinds of things, but in the end, like, the survival, it still persists in a mass, but there's people... left and right getting eliminated. And Armin has a great scene in one of the later chapters, actually, where he instinctually kills someone who's trying to attack them, and it's a person, not a Titan, and it fucks him up. He's messed up the rest of the chapter, and he can't deal with it. It's like, I was a bad person because the other person hesitated, and I didn't. I just shot them cold blank, right in the face. So, sorry for a little more spoiler talk, because I know some of you aren't into it as far, but I think all of these series all relate to just survival animes portrayed in so many different ways, and there's just anime and manga, and it's a really important theme that gets, like, even with your best effort, sometimes things go wrong.
Right.
But sometimes things go right.
Yeah.
Sometimes accidentally you're the last idiot on the earth. Cool. And, sometimes things go terribly, terribly wrong, like Now and Then Here and There.
Ooh. Yeah.
But,
all right. I don't know. That was a good combo.
Yeah.
Next
there we
week,
go.
or 2 weeks from now, we're going to talk about Gynax.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to rewatch Gunbuster and then lie on the floor, face down, and cry about it. Because that's the only appropriate reaction to Gunbuster.
They have such a large body of work. We're going to have plenty to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
And
Tons.
we'll try to get our question of the bye week to be about that. But before we get to the question of the bye week and all that, let's talk about another partner we have.
Yeah, so we do this on the other Nerdpocalypse programs. We have an Amazon affiliate program. So I shop on Amazon, you shop on Amazon, everyone fucking shops on Amazon.
Right.
So all you need to do is when you're thinking, hey, I'm going to buy a 36-pack of gold buttons for this stupid-ass cosplay off of Amazon, rather than going to Amazon.com, what you should do is you should go to mouthfuloftoast.com/Amazon. Now, what this will do is it will take you to Amazon's page. You can shop as you normally would, and what it does is you buy what you want. You don't pay any extra, similar to our Crunchyroll program.
Very similar, yes.
Yep.
We just get a little bit of cut off of that sale, and again, that helps us pay for things like hosting, etc.
Yeah.
So, I've got one last semester of grad school, and then I'll be done. Oh, thank God. And I've got books coming up, so I'm going to be buying all of my books off of this affiliate program.
Yeah.
So.
And what's great is that, when Amazon pops up, it's like, would you like to donate part of your purchase to a charity? Just say no thanks and just go with Mouthful of Toast.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. We are horrible people. We did it.
Yeah, just do that. It's great.
All right.
You can do both. I think you can actually do both.
You can
Yes.
do both. You can do both.
Money is not limited in that way. If someone donates to a charity, doesn't mean they're not donating to other charities.
Yes.
That's another point I'm going to get to later. But yeah,
All
so we have other programs to get into that. So that's really cool. Help us out, please.
Yes, please. We want to continue to be free, and this is a very easy way for you to help us out.
And you help us out. You help us go to more conventions where we can cover a bunch of stuff for you. And yeah, let's talk about conventions.
Yes. So Otakon is next week.
Yes.
So our roundtable discussion this week. Well, actually, you know what? Before that, let's talk about last week's question of the bye-week answers, because this kind of plays into it.
Yeah, I really wanted to get a feel for people who've gone to conventions, what their first experiences were like, and what they wish they knew when they first went to a con. Like, what would have made their con experience better? What kind of problems did they have? And we really want to help you guys survive Otakon if it's your first time going, or just get
any
better.
Other convention you might be going to.
Yeah, any con you go to, we just want to help you out. So this is what the question's exploring.
So our question last week was, if you've been to conventions before, what was your first convention like? Is there anything you know about conventions now that you wish you knew then? Amanda answered, my first convention was Big Apple Anime Fest 2003, and it was such a magical experience. Fun, new, and overwhelming in a really great way. I don't think there's anything in particular I wish I had known back then that I know now. I stayed away from creeps, was proud of my cosplay, and knew to enjoy every single minute that I was there. That's awesome.
Yeah, that everything went right.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't, but that time it did.
The kind of problems that can happen can be things like cosplay. So, Mary actually shared a story saying, my first con was Setsukon 2007. It was a really tiny con. There was a couple hundred people in the hotel lobby of a Days Inn, but for me it was a really awesome experience because everyone was really approachable and friendly. That's great to hear. I really didn't have any friends who were as into anime as me, and I was generally bullied a lot at school, so it was probably the first safe environment I had. The only thing I wish I'd known are, number one, not to bring my more normal friends to a con with me because they stared in judgment at me for the whole day, and two, I wish my cosplay game had been stronger. I cosplayed Gara, and I looked like a Ronald McDonald who'd had their eyebrows burnt off, to be honest.
Okay. Anthony replied, my first con was Otakon 2009. I now know that comfy shoes are a must and to utilize the guidebook or program schedule thing as your friend.
Yeah.
Good.
Pretty much a huge thing. Jeez.
All right. Now, there are plenty more responses to the question of the bye week, so be sure to head to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Mouthful of Toast, to read all of our awesome responses. We got some really long ones that we don't want to take up all your time with, but definitely give those a read because those people's experiences will help you have a better experience.
And there's one I really want to highlight before we move into just our general roundtable discussion. Alex shared a story of how she went to her first anime convention at NecoCon, but the big thing is that she wished she knew at the time how creepy some guys were going to be if you're a lady cosplayer. And I think it's really important that we talk about this because...
I'm a lady cosplayer.
Yeah, we have another lady cosplayer.
Oh, yeah, one right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this story was basically, I remember one time when I was still fairly new at cosplaying where a man approached a friend and I in cosplay, us being both reasonably attractive, popular characters. It was a month before my 19th birthday. He asked how old we both were. Finding out we're 18, 19 respectively, he invited us to come up to a suite and party with the band. Majorly creepy. Unfortunately, I had the good sense to say hell no and grab my friend by the wrist before she could say yes. She's a bit naive. And that memory sticks with me because I have since learned to not give out my age or name at cons unless I'm really sure. Oh, and I found pictures of my ass or just my body online, no head. That feels great. I wish I'd known about the creepers.
Yes.
So ladies listening, first off, I apologize in general for men out there who just don't understand anything. Blanket apology for that, but it's important to me, like what kind of tips can we give ladies, like not just ladies, let's just give tips to men.
In general. Well,
stop being a creep.
Yes. Don't be a creep. Just because you're at an anime convention does not mean that social norms are completely thrown out the window.
Right.
And I've had girls do the same thing. I've been around girls who are being equally creepy around guy friends of mine. So it's definitely a two-way street in that regard. So yeah, just because you're at a convention and you're in a silly costume or whatever, that doesn't give you a license to be a weirdo.
Cosplay is not consent.
No, absolutely not. Now, con survival outside of that, there are so many things.
Yeah.
So many things. I know Jay, who is attending Otakon for his very first time next week.
Oh, Jay.
Is going to want to listen to this. I think he told me he was just going to get enormous bags of fun-sized deodorant from the dollar store and just throw them at people.
Oh no.
So,
I mean, the best tip we could give is just please, everyone, like, try to shower.
Yeah.
I mean, hygiene in general is super important because nothing is worse than, like, getting the crud after a convention. And I've gotten con crud hardcore. And I take good care of myself. I wash my hands a lot. I keep hand sanitizer on me. That's a really good tip. You should definitely keep hand sanitizer on you because you're going to get hugs from people who you've never met before. You're going to get high fives from people who you've never met before. Try to be as clean as possible. Just do that.
And the biggest thing I want to say is that this reminds me that at Katsucon this year, which is a con down in the D.C. area, National Harbor, people went to the con, which was already difficult enough because it was a blizzard. They got to the con and they were sick. And they had a sickness that was contagious and deadly. Swine flu spread at Katsucon.
Yeah.
And sadly, some members of their staff, I think various people from the con, contracted swine flu and passed away.
I think one person passed away. I think a second person was, like, in the hospital for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, I know that the person who had passed away had some other complication related to some pre-existing lung condition, something like that just made it worse. But it's like, if you know you have the flu, stay home.
Stay home. You're going to have a bad time. You're going to get other people sick. You might kill someone.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You know, if you're sick enough to have to go to the hospital within a week of the convention, you know, do most conventions have a no refund policy? Yes. Yeah. That is absolutely true.
It's a bummer.
Chances are, though, if you're like, hey, I have a note from a hospital that says I was not able to leave my house, chances are they might be able to get you at least a partial refund or maybe transfer it to the next year's convention.
Yeah, talk to con staff if you can't make it to the con, and just be aware of yourself, because if you're sick and you get to the con, you're not going to be enjoying the con. You're going to be in your hotel room, like, throwing up all weekend. That's no fun. And that also leads to don't party too hard, because you'll be in your hotel throwing up the rest of the time.
You're saying this from experience, right?
I might have partied a little hard at conventions before, but I just drink responsibly, especially if you have to drive.
Yes,
don't drink and drive.
No,
there's just a lot to keep in mind. Those are just the big things I wanted to touch on, but there's a lot more about conventions than just your own health.
A lot of easy tips. Take a water bottle.
Pack water.
Pack a water bottle. There are, particularly at the Baltimore Convention Center, where it's like 105 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And
there's ice cold water for $1.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere.
Ice cold water guy. People have like hailed him as some sort of like ice cold water god, but like he's out there at every Orioles game. Like I see him all the time, and people are like, "Oh, ice cold water guy at Otakon." It's like he doesn't like live in a hole and then appear for Otakon.
He's a symbol.
Besides that,
that's his big publicity week, you know. Yeah.
He's a symbol. He's a hero to all of us.
Yes. Food at Otakon can get expensive.
Absolutely.
And you're gonna try and go to that little food court across the street that has the Burger King and the Subway. They're gonna run out of food in like 12 hours.
Prepare to wait in line if you do get in line.
Oh my God, the lines are crazy.
I mean, for Otakon, you can go to Harbor Place. It is pricey. The cheapest places there are like Five Guys and stuff like that, and they will sell out very quickly.
Bring your own food. Bring snacks.
Mm-hmm.
Bring
the
peanut butter crackers.
Yeah, the people who I room with, like, we always bring granola bars, Pop-Tarts, stuff that's easy to pack with you and then take with you into the convention center, because they don't stop you from taking food into the convention center.
Get some ramen. They got the coffee makers in a lot of hotel rooms. You can make ramen with the boiling water.
There you go.
Like, have you done that?
I haven't. My people in my rooms have done that.
I've never done coffee pot ramen.
You haven't been desperate enough. You haven't hungered enough for it.
No, I have not. If the way that I like to do food at conventions is like me and the people who I room with, we'll do like one big like Saturday night nice dinner together.
Yeah, that's always nice to do.
But beyond that, it's like snacking here and there, like trying not to spend too much money on food because you know, you don't realize how much money you're going to spend on food over the course of 3 or 4 days, particularly in a tourist trap area like the Inner Harbor. It just
absolutely.
You'll blow maybe close to $100.
More than that.
Or more.
If you go to the dealer's room.
No, I mean like,
but just
in,
like
in
for
a weekend,
lunch
just
and dinner,
on food.
lunch and dinner,
Oh,
lunch and
absolutely.
dinner. Yeah, like even if you don't get breakfast, you're still gonna spend tons of money on food.
Yeah, $10-15 at least in that
every
area.
meal, yeah.
The biggest tip is be aware of your money. Be aware of how much you have, how much you have to spend, because you don't want to like be Sunday, be like, oh God, I'm starving. Oh wait, I bought that figure at the dealer's room. I can't afford food today.
And then you have to eat your figure. And where does that leave you? Huh?
That's a waste. It doesn't digest well.
Yeah, don't be one of those people who ends up going on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and being like, I can't make my rent this month because I spent all my money at Otakon.
Yeah.
No one's going to feel sorry for you.
Do not start an Indiegogo account raising money for your convention. I will roll my eyes at you and not give you a cent. And the biggest thing, going back to the dealer's room, be really mindful of the prices there. They love to jack up prices. Check prices online. If you got a smartphone, just be like, how much is that figure really? You know, how much is that, that video game really? And just don't spend more money than you need to at the con. They love to overprice stuff everywhere around it, everywhere in the convention center.
I tend to wait until Saturday evening or Sunday to do most of my purchasing because that's when the dealers want to move all the extra stuff that they purchase.
Yeah, it's much better to wait. Don't be an impulse buyer at the con.
Yeah, don't be in there Friday morning, first person in the door, throwing your money at the first person that you see.
They're not going to run out of their limited stuff. They really aren't. They're going to bring in more. Probably.
Yeah.
For the most part. There's some figures sometimes that you'll be like, oh, I missed it. But it's like...
I've had that happen.
Just wait.
Mean,
there's always
the
more
stuff that I'm...
Yeah, absolutely.
The stuff that I'm looking for are like Toho figures and stuff like that. So...
They're little hot commodities.
Yeah. But, yeah, ultimately, I would say, do what you can to have a good time. Like, con drama exists, con drama happens, but don't let it bring you down. Like,
just
simple as that.
Get a good pair of shoes, get some friends, figure out your schedule, and then have a good day.
Look at the schedule in advance. I think a lot of the Otakon schedule's coming out really soon, so they've announced some events and all that. Just have a good idea of what you're doing. If you wander around aimlessly, sometimes you'll find some fun, and sometimes you'll be like, I just spent like $80 to wander a convention center.
Definitely go in with a plan.
Right.
Try to have some sort of plan, and pick friends that are low maintenance. You just know who you're rooming with. Con drama's the worst. Like, just don't deal with that.
Yeah, that's the best thing about going to cons again and again. You start to really polish down that friend group that you really want there, and then eventually you just have that perfect group for you.
That's why Ian's in my room.
Yeah. Show off, why don't you?
He's going to be my perfect roommate and not be any problems, right, Ian? No problems?
No. Don't have to worry about me. I have to worry about you.
He's going to burn down the hotel.
You can tell from the tone of my voice?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's some good general tips. And if there's more things you want to cover, just ask us on the Facebook. If you're like, hey, I really want to know more about this and this, I didn't even talk about the Artist Alley. That's a whole different thing than the dealer's room. Oh, man.
There's so much.
Fan art, Nirvana. Save your money for the Artist Alley because that's stuff you're going to have a lot more trouble finding than the dealer's room.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, give your money to people who are actually working really hard for it as opposed to the merchants who are jacking up prices from stuff that you can probably easily find online.
Yeah, and sometimes people bring their original work. Sometimes, like, cool webcomics that don't have a fandom or anything yet show up there. You should totally buy stuff for my girlfriend at her Otakon table.
Okay, all right. Okay, Sam, let's move on.
It's Final Arcanum. Go buy your stuff. They're dragging me away right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that about covers it for Con Survival. As far as other convention coverage, Jay and I will be at Otakon as press. We'll be doing some interviews.
Yep. We've talked all about Otakon. Coming up in less than 2 weeks, so be ready.
I'm trying to think. I'll be wearing, as far as like my cosplay schedule, I'll be wearing Utena from Revolutionary Girl Utena for a lot of the weekends. So,
okay.
I'll be wearing that. I'll be wearing Reimu from Toho Project. I'll be wearing Keiko from Revolutionary Girl Utena. And I might wear Arukeniman from Digimon Season 2 on Sunday.
Cool. Yeah, lots of cosplays to look for.
So, what can we find you wearing?
I actually have 2 of my costumes done, and Yay! The third one's just not happening for the Otakon. Oh. I will not be Waluigi for Otakon. I'm sorry. Wait for MagFest.
Oh.
Wah! But I will have my obscure One Piece cosplay, which is the young version of Silver's Rayleigh, on most of Friday, and I will have, I think Friday night or Saturday night, I will be Oingo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3. He's a minor villain. I'll be wearing a lot of green and purple. It's really hard to miss a JoJo character because their costumes assault your eyes immediately. They're wearing a lot of spandex in pink and purple, and just it's oh, that's JoJo. Got it.
Right.
So yeah. You'll probably see me one of those, or just normal civilian clothes.
Yeah, if you think you see one of us in cosplay, come say hi.
We'll give you a business card.
Yes. We will be passing out 2,000 business cards at Otakon.
Yep.
So hopefully you will get one.
Ian will be his well-dressed self.
Yeah, I'll wear a shirt, I guess, maybe some days.
Depends on the mood.
Maybe? We'll see. It's all up in the air right now.
Question mark.
What about shorts?
Jorts?
Jorts?
Jorts? Cut-offs? Assless chaps? Let's do it.
Cut-offs the girl from Aldnoah Zero. Get the thigh girl.
Oh, the thigh girl. That girl, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll cosplay her. That's fine. That's an easy.
Done.
See? My first cosplay
We just got his
ever.
cosplay.
Yeah. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh. That's so nice.
It's a beautiful moment. All right, other upcoming conventions.
Well, actually, San Diego Comic-Con was this past weekend. Was there anything interesting from that?
Nothing anime related that
really?
I really saw. Yeah.
I heard Tetsuya Nomura was signing autographs.
Okay.
He's a Kingdom Hearts guy.
Oh.
Kingdom Hearts.
Right.
I don't really like Kingdom Hearts.
I don't like it either. I just love it.
Oh, all right. Okay.
I don't believe you.
We'll do an episode.
Yeah. Anime video games will be an episode.
Oh, boy. Other upcoming conventions. Baltimore Comic-Con. I'm going.
That's not anime either.
It's not anime either, but there's a decent amount of manga selection there. People there appreciate it.
Baltimore Comic-Con feels like an expanded artist alley / dealer's room for the most part.
Yeah, there's not so much panels. Baltimore Comic-Con, which is started by my local store in Reisterstown, Cards, Comics, and Collectibles. So they're kind of expanding. They're definitely more comics focused than the other, quote, Comic-Cons that are more pop culture focused. Like New York Comic-Con, which we are also going to. And obviously San Diego is an entertainment convention more than a comic convention at this point. But Baltimore Comic-Con really sticks to the comics. So I know a lot of people who read manga also read a lot of American or Western comic books. So
there's some bleed over on that.
Yeah.
So
and it's also held at the Baltimore Convention Center. Easy to get to.
It's half of the convention center. Not the full convention center. Yeah. It's not as big.
Yeah,
but,
no.
I went there once and cosplayed the Joker, and everyone lost their mind. I wasn't even an accurate Joker. I had thrown it together the day of because my friends had a Batman villains group, and everyone there was just oh, someone's cosplaying. Oh, it's Joker. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, if you cosplay, people lose their mind at you because it's not really a cosplay convention.
No, not at all. But when it's appreciated if you do show up like that. Can you tell me about SabotenCon? What is this? I
stuck it on there because it's coming up pretty quick. I mostly put it on there because the World Cosplay Summit thing, I don't really follow World Cosplay Summit. I've had friends who have competed.
Oh, yeah.
Not really my thing.
Ian was in that.
Oh, was he?
What? Huh?
So SabotenCon is at the end of August. It's August 29th. Through September 1st. It's obviously if they're hosting the World Cosplay Summit regionals, they're probably cosplay focused.
Where is this at again?
Good lord. Where is it?
Does it exist on this mortal plane?
Our basement.
I'm just...
Hey!
Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
So SabotenCon is happening
It's
somewhere.
got a cactus. as
Oh
a
no,
JoJo.
it's in the desert. If you want to get lost in the desert and cosplay,
It is
Start
in the
wandering
desert.
around deserts.
It's in Arizona.
Figure it out.
okay.
So I guess it's holding the Western regionals for Summit shit.
Cool. So if you cosplay, try to go to that.
Yeah,
Go to
if
Arizona.
you're a West Coast person, I mean they've got some good guests. Eric Stephen Prince is definitely one of my favorite American voice actors.
Okay.
So yeah, it doesn't seem like a particularly big convention. I just wanted to mention it for the World Cosplay Summit thing. But I guess the big fall anime convention, at least for us, is Anime USA.
Yeah, for us East Coasters, Anime USA is a con that's been like fluctuating in size. I think they had the Switch Hotels a few years ago, and they're in DC area.
They're in DC. Proper.
Oh yeah.
You can metro right to them now. They used to be in Crystal City, which is Northern Virginia, just over the river from DC. Now they're actually in DC. For me, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it the whole weekend. I wasn't able to make it at all last year, and I was pretty pissed about it.
I'm going to try to go. It's actually right near the zoo, too. So if you don't want to go to the con the whole time, just be like, I'm going to go see some animals.
And the zoo's free. It's the Smithsonian Zoo.
Yeah.
It's a free zoo.
It's a good spot. Ian, do you want to go to that?
Yeah, let's go to that.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to try to see if I can whip up another Sanji cosplay, because One Piece.
I might try and have...
Nope.
I might try and have a JoJo cosplay by Anime USA.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. I got carried to JoJo. We're going to have a whole thing about that. Sorry, Ian.
Problem.
You guys said it was the fall convention. What dates has it been set for this year?
Oh, boy. That's another
it's October sometime.
Fluctuating thing about Anime USA. Anime USA has been held on, like, Thanksgiving weekend before, but it's also been held at, like, the end of September.
Yeah, no, it's been held at the beginning of September. It's been in a 3-month time span.
Yeah.
So a weekend somewhere in there. Last weekend was the same weekend as Small Press Expo, which is like an indie comic convention.
This year it's October 3rd through the 5th.
Okay. That's a pretty good time for it.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I mean, that's something where I might end up just going down for a day and just metroing in if I don't have the money for like a full 3-day DC hotel experience.
That's a good beginner con, I think.
That's the best part about cons that take place in a city proper, I'd say. You get to just stop by. Yeah.
If you're a DC local, just swing by and check it out what a convention is.
Even if you're like in the Virginia, if you're anywhere from like Virginia to Delaware, you really only have to drive about an hour or so to get to a metro stop.
Yeah.
It's free to park at most metros after a certain time. Just take it right in. There's literally a metro stop right there at the hotel.
So yeah, we'll give you more coverage on that later, and highly recommended for like a beginner. You know, like if you really want, it's a smaller con. It'll get you more eased into a convention scenario. See if it's right for you.
Yeah. Also worth mentioning, just in passing, BronyCon is this weekend.
Is it?
In Baltimore. Again, back to back with Otakon again.
Okay.
Fun story about BronyCon, just real quick.
I thought that was the fun story.
No.
Funny story, BronyCon's happening again.
Last year, I'm like in the basement working on my Otakon stuff. My father comes downstairs with a newspaper in his hand. He's like, "What's BronyCon?" Now my father is in his 60s. He doesn't know really anything about My Little Pony. He was like, I was like, "It's My Little Pony convention, Dad." And he was like, "Well, it says that like 65% of the attendees are men between the ages of 18 and 35. Is this some sort of pervert convention?"
That's good.
Short answer, yes.
Long answer, I'm really sorry. Yes, all these men want to stick their dick in a cartoon horse. I'm really sorry, Dad. I was just like nervously sweating, and I was like, I don't know anything about this. Leave me alone.
The more I talk about this, the more it seems like it's something I'm interested in.
Well, hey, and I'm actually a fan of the show, so at some point I might bring up the Japanese dub of My Little Pony in one of our checked out sections, guys.
You better not.
So Ian will not be joining us next week or ever again.
This is when I start my exile.
This is a case of space racism, and
no, definitely
spacism. All right, so that's about it for conventions.
We
will have
trailers.
a ton of Otakon coverage for you when you hear from us next. But yeah, trailers. We have a few of them. First one's not really a trailer, but I stuck it in trailers because it kind of is a trailer. It's the video for Moon Pride, which is the Sailor Moon Crystal theme, and it shows off the other transformations for the 3 Sailor soldiers that haven't been introduced yet.
Yeah.
And boy, does that CG look fucking awful.
You know, I thought I would get used to it, but no, it's really hard to get used to it. It's obviously not cutting corners. I think that they put the time and effort into making that CG look as good as CG can, but it just doesn't fit all.
It doesn't fit the style.
It really doesn't.
I'm okay with these, noodly designs in traditional flat animation, but once you put it in CG, I'm like, that looks weird.
Something went wrong.
Something went terribly wrong here. So yeah, have a look if you're interested in seeing the transformation sequences for the other 3 soldiers, Jupiter, Mars, and Venus, who are presumably being introduced shortly.
Sooner.
Probably one right after another if we're going.
We're going like that. Yeah.
So.
They're
also bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Sailor Moon Crystal's also bi-weekly. Like us.
So, we've also got a trailer for the Bayonetta anime. So, did you put this on?
I did.
Okay. You want to talk about this?
Not really. I just thought it was interesting.
We are really good with our news, guys.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, there has to be something for San Diego Comic-Con that's interesting, and I saw some people talking about the Bayonetta anime, and I was like, alright, let's take a look at this. And it sure is a Bayonetta anime.
Yeah.
This is also the second or third Bayonetta movie anime that they made too, I think.
Yeah, this one's Bloody Fate.
Yeah.
Maybe this will get Terrence from Dense Pixels interested in anime a little bit, because he really likes Bayonetta, but he really doesn't like anime. So Bayonetta anime might be enough.
Might be the ticket to sell him.
Yeah.
For me, go feminism!
Well, I mean, Bayonetta is a fun,
it doesn't look bad.
It's fun. But the problem is that, last I heard about the first one is that the animation quality is not great. The action is pretty not well choreographed. And when you're watching it, all you want to do is just shut it off and start playing the game again. That
works.
That's an interesting criticism that I've always heard about these.
I mean, that's one way to get you, playing the next game and all that. It's just watch this shitty anime,
or play this Wii U version that's about to come out in 2 fucking months. Good timing, Funimation.
Figured it out.
Speaking of Funimation,
oh boy,
they had a talk with Mega 64 about Dragon Ball Z. Mega 64 is known mainly for their video game parodies, but they'll go to conventions and they'll do their cosplayers videos where they just dance with people and label them the incorrect costume, and it's a great time.
Yeah, they have a great sense of humor.
So Funimation clearly thought Mega 64 should promote our new Battle of the Gods premiere in America, and they just kind of did their own thing.
Their money went to the right place.
And it is perfect.
It is wonderful.
It's 100% real, as the video will remind you. They go Super Saiyan level 15. Yeah. They go way. I didn't know they had so many levels.
Piccolo went Super Saiyan. It was
awesome. Super Saiyan level 20 was revealed to be a flaming shoe. But we should save the jokes for people who take the time to watch it, because it's wonderful. It's just a little wonderful bit of silliness.
Don't confuse it for the live-action movie that came out a few years ago. This is Mega 64 has rectified the wrongs of that movie in one short video.
Oh, yeah.
In a 2-minute video.
It's beautiful. Please watch it.
Mm-hmm.
And then go watch Battle of the Gods from Funimation and all that. Okay. So they're going to do the whole thing. Same weekend as Otakon. They might even do a screening at Otakon. I don't know. I haven't looked that up.
It'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah,
that would be sweet.
And it shows that Funimation has, it knows where its cultural cachet lies. It knows who to go to for jokes and fun stuff like that.
Yeah, they're pretty on top of their game.
They know what they're up to. Yeah.
And that's it for trailers.
Yeah, that's it for the trailers we want to show, but we have one last section because we promised this when we asked for them.
Yes, so we had, we finally hit iTunes, and then we immediately got an influx of 5-star reviews. Hopefully we will have this many every single episode, but...
First off, thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it. So, Crooked Hill said, mouthful of praise, 5 stars. Super into this new podcast. I've mostly been out of the anime loop for a few years, so I'm not up to speed on what series and films are coming out. This was really fun to listen to, and just as equally informative, I'm feeling pretty nostalgic towards my high school anime club days, especially being president of the Weebs. It's like, was that your actual title? Can't wait to hear what you guys cover next, especially in terms of cosplay. Hope to see some of the personal cosplays you discussed on your Twitter as well. So thank you for that, Crooked Hill.
Speaking of Twitter, we might as well say, if you want to follow us...
At Mouthful of Toast.
There's at Mouthful of Toast for the whole podcast. Get all the latest updates on what we're posting and what we're working on.
Mm-hmm.
We also have individual Twitter and Tumblr accounts. So check us out. You can find me, Tim, as Skeletim on Tumblr, or Twitter, the display name is Skeletim. I believe it's like Cold Shift or something.
K-Hold Shift.
K-Hold
Shift. It is Cold
It's
Shift.
dumb.
You
Don't even
nerd.
look at that. Skeleton, the actual at Skeleton was taken by some loser who never posted on Twitter, so let's screw that guy. Yeah. What about Carrie? What are you at?
I am very original with my Twitter handle and my Tumblr handle. My Tumblr name is Suppits Carrie, SUPITS Carrie.tumblr.com. Or you can find me on Twitter at CarrieWood34.
Oh!
There she is.
Get these 90s conventions in there. Love it. Yeah. AIM all over again. And you can find...
34 is actually a baseball reference, so screw you guys.
Whoa.
That doesn't change the fact that it's an AIM handle. And you can find me, Ian, at tggp.tumblr.com. That's just the 4 letters, .tumblr.com. And my Twitter is Ian is sober. That's Ian, Y-E-N, is sober. Just, follow us. Talk to us.
Are you?
We're great.
Well, I think so, because he also has a separate Twitter, Ian is drunk.
That's a secret. That's a secret.
He hasn't updated the one.
That's a trade secret. So
that's funny.
Maybe Otakon. We'll see. Return to Ian is drunk.
Or both. Who knows?
Yeah.
Surprise.
All right. More 5-star reviews. Tim, you want to read the next one?
Yes. Lightly buttered, no cheese. Who puts cheese on their toast? From 0x Mega. It's charming, funny, and easy to digest thanks to the chemistry between the hosts, friendly anime new friends, as well as grizzled Ji-chan Sama Tachis. Kick back and give it a listen. When can we expect the Mouthful of Toast convention, MOTCon, and will all badge holders get complimentary toast?
If we raise enough money to have an MOTCon, which would basically just be drinking in my backyard, yes, I will make toast for everyone.
Well, hey, 2 extra hours in the ball pit.
Right. Oh, yeah. We have our own.
Okay.
Well, I will say, for on the subject of conventions, please tell conventions that we want to come. Like, try to suggest that we're guests or something, or suggest cons we should go to. We can try to get a panel. We can show up anywhere.
Yes.
So
we travel well.
That, we're just homeless people trying to find a new place to stay for the weekend.
Please.
Can you suggest that we're guests just for this weekend? I really need a roof over my head.
No, I mean, I think any con we go to will become an MOTCon. So, yeah, come on.
Ian, you want to read the next one?
Yeah. All right. This next one might get me back into anime, which there's a problem here right now because, you should have said, I will get back to anime. But we'll. Hypocritic says, so far so good, everyone. I'm a longtime listener to pretty much everything in the Nerdpocalypse Network, and this is a great fit. The hosts seem informative and passionate. Thank you. And that's what good podcasts are made of, right? Equal parts information and passion. I can't wait to listen to more. I'd love to get more information about conventions and cosplay. I've been thinking about getting into cosplay a little and have no clue where to start. So I'm hoping this podcast serves as a cosplay compass. As an avid podcast listener, so much that I've started my own called the Hypocritics Podcast, which this is a great addition to my pod list. Well, thanks, Carl.
Thanks, Carl.
Yeah, that's awesome. This is the exact demographic I wanted to reach. This is the people I want to inform about cosplay. I think we'll probably do a whole episode about construction with cosplay, and we'll try to get someone who's like super experienced in the cosplay world to try to come by. I'd love to get special guests to come by and talk what makes them special and in the world of cosplay and anime.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't call this guy because he started his own podcast, so he's already an enemy of us.
We must destroy all of the podcasts.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks.
All right, and our last one is from Sama Bean. Engaging and all-around rad. 5 minutes in, all concerns over the length of this podcast were swept away. The great variety and mood of the show will make it appealing for anyone, from the new fan to the seasoned convention goer. The Chipper hosts are absolute naturals at keeping you interested in the topic at hand and also offer a lot of great insight and opinions. Keep it up, dudes.
Excellent.
We will keep it up.
We will.
Thank you
because
very much, Sam.
this marks a successful second episode.
Yeah, I think everything went well. Audio quality will be improving slowly but surely.
Yes, we're working on it.
Yeah, we just need to offer more blood to the demon gods. So
right. I ran out of goats this week.
Yeah. The only reason why the Nerdpocalypse sounds so damn good is because Jay actually sacrificed his soul to a higher power. He's
got a contract written, everything.
Yeah.
It's, we're still playing rock, paper, scissors to figure out who among us three is going to do that, I think.
Nose Ghost.
All right.
I really appreciate all of the feedback so far. Please keep it coming. We'd love to entertain and inform you guys, so just keep up any feedback you have. Follow us on the Facebook.com/Mouthful of Toast. We'll hopefully have more giveaways on there soon.
Yeah, I got in touch with the winner of our first giveaway. He will be getting a box full of swag.
Oh, a whole box, not just one thing.
Yeah, a couple things anyway. Whatever I can fit in the box.
Okay.
So
congrats to
I forget his name.
Good.
He knows who he is.
Yeah.
We won't announce the winners on the show.
Hold on.
You'll
bring it up.
receive a prize.
Give me a sec.
Okay.
Winner's name is.
We're just gonna keep on sending that box between ourselves.
His name is Cody. Cody is getting a box of stuff I don't want.
Cody, awesome.
So
you won.
Congrats!
Yes.
You're the real anime now.
He is the full anime.
So I hope next
giveaway I think we're going to do via Twitter. So please follow our official Twitter account at Mouthful of Toast. Once we hit let's say 50-ish, we'll do a giveaway through there. I know we're getting close. We're within 10 or so.
Yeah, we're really
close.
So
yeah, once we hit that magic nice round 50 number, we'll take care of that.
Yeah.
And, also, I didn't have a chance to get to it this episode, but if you have, we did have someone send in some con horror stories, so they are timeless. We will get to them in the future. So if you have con horror stories, send them to our Gmail account, mouthfuloftoast@gmail.com. If you typo and put in 2 L's, I also have that Gmail registered. So if you typo, I'll still get it.
Don't we also have contact@mouthfuloftoast.com?
Yeah, we have a number of emails. You can do contact@mouthfuloftoast.com. Either way, it's coming to us. So
yeah, for those of you who are listening through iTunes or Stitcher and have no clue that there's a website, there's a mouthfuloftoast.com.
Yes.
Go to mouthfuloftoast.com. Hopefully we'll have the time markers for the episode so you can, stop and resume. We should have those up soon. I posted them on the Facebook tonight for episode 1, and I should have the second episode ones up soon. And hopefully have other news and videos and whatever else we're doing on that mouthfuloftoast.com hub.
Yes.
And that's part of the Nerdpocalypse Network. Please check out the other stuff from Nerdpocalypse.
Yes, we are a part of the Nerdpocalypse Network. Now, because Jay is in the land of blue meth, there are no other Nerdpocalypse shows recording this week, so no Dense Pixels this week, no Nerdpocalypse this week, which means, holy shit, we're going to have so much to cover about San Diego Comic-Con next week.
Yikes.
It's going to be like a 3-hour episode, so hold on to your pants for that one. But there was a new episode of Love School for Nerds uploaded. So Love School for Nerds is a really easy listen to podcast because those episodes are only like 15-20 minutes, so those are good, and they also released a new Black on Black Cinema episode. They did The Wiz.
Oh, good.
It was hilarious. It's the first Black on Black Cinema episode that I've listened to. I am not their target audience. I am the whitest girl in Baltimore. But yeah, give that a listen for sure, because, you know, when you think of The Wiz, you're like, oh, that's that funny movie where Michael Jackson was the Scarecrow. That was a good movie, right? No, it was not a good movie.
Everything went wrong.
Yeah, and yes, please listen to all of the other Nerdpocalypse affiliated shows, and we'll be back at you in 2 weeks.
Yep, post Otakon special coming up after that.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See you next time.